this video tutorial. I'm Lindsay and today I'm going to show you how to make these brush embroidery cupcakes. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so what we're actually going to need to make these cupcakes are the actual cupcakes that you've baked, some buttercream. Now I'll put the description below to the video where I showed you how I made the buttercream that I use. So we just need one batch of that for 12 cupcakes. Some icing or fondant, just that we can roll out, your rolling pin, a knife or a spatula, so something with a flat edge, so we need one of those, a little cup of water and a tissue, a cookie cutter, so this one is a circle and measures 9 centimeters in diameter, so we need one of those, just some corn flour for dusting for when we roll out, a paintbrush. Now we need a flat edge paintbrush. We'll also need some flower cutters. So these ones are just 5 petal cutters. So I've got a few different sizes. It doesn't have to be this kind of flower. This can be done with any kind of cutters that you want. This one is just a leaf cutter or plunger, so just one of those. And also your royal icing. Now I've made this royal icing, so once it's in the bowl, and you can run a toothpick through it or a cocktail stick, and it's still soft, so it takes about 7 seconds once you run the stick through it for the pattern that you've made to disappear. So it's quite firm but also very easy to kind of drag around. So that's what we need to make the cupcakes. Okay, so what we want to start with is creating the dome which the pattern is going to go onto. So what you need to do is take your buttercream and using your knife, put buttercream onto your cupcake. Now what we want to do is start building a dome shape. So you put that on and then just work around the edges, kind of building it up, and just keep building it up until you're kind of happy with the size that your dome is going to be. And once you've done these a few times, you'll get used to kind of how big the dome needs to be for the cutters that you've got. Okay, so as you can see, we've got a dome shape of the buttercream. So now what we want to do is just roll out some of our purple icing. Just take this, dust the area with a little bit of corn flour. Now you want to roll it out till it's about 5 millimeters deep, so about that thick. And then you want to take your cookie cutter, which when you place it over your cupcake is about 1 centimeter bigger than the actual diameter of the cupcake. So we just want to cut that out and get rid of the excess. Right, so then you want to pick your icing up without kind of changing the shape of it, and then on your cupcake you just want to place it on the center like that, and then once it's laying there, just use your 2 middle fingers and you just want to work your way around the cupcake, just kind of patting it down. Until you're happy with the dome that you've got. Okay, so what you want to do is do that to all 12 of your cupcakes, and then you want to put it in the fridge for about 10 to 15 minutes, just until it's kind of solid when you touch it. So we want the buttercream underneath to firm up so that we've got a nice base. So now I've just taken the cupcakes out of the fridge. They've been in there for about 15 minutes. So as you can see, they've kind of firmed up. So you don't want them so they're still a little bit squishy. So what you want to do is take the cutters that you're going to use, and what we're going to use these for is just a template so we know where to follow. So what you want to do on the top of your cupcake is decide where you want them, and you want to just push really lightly, because what we want to do is just make a slight indent. I don't know if you can see that. But we don't want to actually push the cupcake down, so this is just going to show us where we're going to follow with the royal icing. And then I've just got this leaf one. So what we've got, if you can see that. So we've got one larger flower here, a slightly smaller one, and then 2 petals, and this one is coming off of the edge. What you want to do is take your royal icing. You don't want to do the whole flower at the same time, so we're just going to do 1 petal followed by another petal followed by another petal. So on the bigger flower, what you want to do is just go around the lines that you have. Now for the bigger flowers, what I would do is just do another line just at the top inside, which will give you more icing to pull back. Now if you take your paintbrush and the water that you've got, so you just want to dip it in the water but wipe most of the water off, and then using the flat edge of your paintbrush, so not that way, you just want to come to where you've put the royal ice in and just drag backwards down the whole petal. And then we just want to go around the whole flower. So we just join that petal to it. And then we just want to do the same and drag down. So we go. Now you don't want your royal icing too runny, because what will happen when you try and drag it is that the pattern that you're creating will just blur, so you won't actually get those pulled lines. That gives you your first flower. So then we just want to do the slightly smaller flower, and we just do the same. And because this one's slightly smaller, I'm going to do a couple of the petals at the same time, and I'm just putting 1 layer of the royal icing on, because you don't want too much on there, as you won't be able to pull it back. Just pull that through. And I'm just wiping off the excess water every time, because you don't actually want to add water to the royal icing or the cupcakes. It will make the icing go a bit wet, and it will also thin out your royal icing. Right, so with the leaves, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the edge of the petal shape with the royal icing, and I'm just going to wiggle it slightly as I go, so that it's not a dead straight line, just to give kind of a leaf effect. And then what I'm also going to do is just do 1 tiny line coming down, which we're going to also pull into the pattern. So starting, which would be the bottom of the leaf, all we're going to do is just pull inwards to the centre. Bring it down. Show you from that side. Just want to come around the shape and have a small line coming down. And then we're just going to drag down to the base of the cupcake. And then we can also just bring this line down slightly so that it matches. And there you have your brush embroidery cupcake. And what you want to do is just leave this to dry until the royal icing is dry, so you can either pop it back in the fridge, which will just help it set quicker. I really hope you enjoyed this video on how to do a brush embroidery effect on your cupcakes. If you did, please click the like button, and if you'd like to see more videos, then please click the subscribe button.